attached to a telephone wire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've heard it means there's drugs for sale nearby. Don't know if that's true. Well, on my way here, I saw like drugs attached to a telephone wire, and I looked down and there was Clark's, the shoe shop. That's how they advertise now. That's not true. I mainly want to talk about racism, in particular squirrel racism, because I believe you should be treated equally regardless of the colour of your fur, but not everyone thinks that. If you go up to Formby, you might be asked, would you like to buy a bag of nuts for the red squirrels? Now, has anyone ever stopped you in a car park and said, would you like to buy a bag of nuts specifically for grey squirrels? Probably not. And I know the arguments against. People say, oh well, you know, the grey ones, they're not the native ones. Classic racism. Well, I did a bit of Googling about this, and the first grey squirrels came to Britain in 1876, and they start mating at 1 year old, which means that some grey squirrels can claim that their British heritage goes back 138 generations. Now, if there's anyone in the audience who can prove to me that their British heritage goes back more than 138 generations, then fine, I will allow you to call them not native. But here's the thing, right? This is what I worry about. I'm cute and ginger, and people take photos of me, people feed me, sometimes nuts. What's going to happen when I go grey? Am I just going to get treated like vermin? Please don't do that. So yeah, I like to invent things. I brought one of my inventions here this evening. Do you know what a shiwi is?
Yeah.
Okay. I've invented the opposite of that. So a shiwi is like a little funnel that helps you to wee if you're a woman. I've invented the he-wee. It's here. It makes weeing more difficult for men. So it's just back from the patent office. It's not the end of a watering can, as you might think. But basically, it just makes everything a bit more sprinkly. So if you're sort of going camping with your partner or something like that, it's kind of an alternative way to level the playing field. So please consider that. I've also invented some greetings cards. Now I know what you're thinking, they've already been invented, but not these ones. So I feel like when you go into a card shop, the cards there don't cover every kind of eventuality. So I've made a few of my own. If any of them apply to anyone here, please let me know and I'll write it out to you. So first of all, congratulations, you're not pregnant. Because there must be loads of situations where that's really a good thing.
Yeah.
Is anyone here in that situation? Okay, well, I'm happy for you that you're all happily pregnant, because it means in a few months' time I can give away this card. It's a hermaphrodite. For those awkward moments where it's not a boy or a girl. I've also got, you've got away with murder, congrats. I probably wouldn't have that on my mantelpiece, but it's nice to like recognise achievement, isn't it? And then for some things that already exist, for bonfire night I've got this one. Happy celebration of the hanging of an attempted terrorist. That's always happening. And then at the weekend we had Mother's Day, so I made my mum a card. Happy Mother's Day, thanks for squeezing me out. Because that's really the main role of being a mum, isn't it, right there? And what have we got coming up this weekend? I hope everyone's really excited. It's the new tax year. Happy New Tax Year 2014/2015. Now, you're laughing, but I'm self-employed and this actually means something to me. And I get annoyed when people don't take it seriously because I'm bored with like Chinese New Year and I'm not Chinese. I feel like you're not respecting my culture. I actually, a couple of years ago, had a party to celebrate the new tax year. And I went all out for it. I had like themed games and stuff. I had this game called P45. It involved 45 frozen peas. I had a game called Stakeholder, and it was who can do the best plait in a girl's hair whilst holding a steak. So like I really put the effort in, but then people left before midnight. And like, you wouldn't do that on mainstream New Year, would you? So maybe consider sending this card to a self-employed friend. Yeah. I'm going to end on a death-defying stunt. Were you told as a kid, don't put a plastic bag over your head? Yeah? Me too. And although I didn't think an adult would lie to me, I also didn't think putting a plastic bag over my head would kill me. And there's really only one way to find out, and I was quite a curious child. Obviously I lived that time, but I'm going to do it again. Who knows if I live this time, but if I do survive, I'd love a massive round of applause, and that'll be the end of my act. So. Could we have like a bit of a drum roll? I'm going to go and look directly at the sun now. Thanks.